What's up, everybody? USA.patriot.cards on Instagram, USA.patriot.cards on eBay, and today I am talking Dallas Card Show. I am lucky enough to live about 20 minutes from the Dallas Card Show. Been going to the Dallas Card Show since it was about 15 tables and maybe 100 guests at best when it was at the Hilton Garden Inn in Frisco, across from the Stars Dr. Pepper Center. If you're local, you know what I'm talking about. And it's grown all the way into one of the bigger shows in the country, and it is at the Hilton Waters Creek, I believe, convention hotel in Allen. It has grown immensely and really has become one of the premier shows, I feel like, in the country. I know there was also a show in Atlanta this weekend, and that could explain why this Dallas Card Show felt a little smaller than the last Dallas Card Show, I think was in March. But that also could be the state of the hobby. So let me just jump right into my experience here this weekend at the Dallas Card Show. I went on Friday to day one, and I was sort of waiting for everybody to show up. It felt like, first of all, there were a lot of empty tables. So I feel like 25% of the dealers on into Friday evening, I'm talking, 6:30, still hadn't shown up. So I don't know if that's customary for some dealers to skip Friday altogether. But yeah, I feel like the one in March, the show in March, Friday was jumping. I mean, I think it's opened at 2. I feel by 3:30, because I usually try to get there around within the first hour of opening just to see if there's anything. Because, I mean, people have their eyes on certain things, and those things tend to go first. So I like to get there early just so I can see what's there. And if I want to buy something, I'm looking for something specific, I might have the first chance to grab it. Anyway, that being said, last show by 3:30 on day one, it was really kind of, moving in between people. There'd be, a line, 1 or 2 people deep at each table. You're kind of waiting to get up to see the case. But this Friday, day one of this show, wasn't like that. And I feel maybe that has something to do with the hobby being sort of on a downtrend. It also just could be that back in March there wasn't a whole lot to do, and now people and families are out spending money other ways, taking vacations, and maybe out on the golf course. Who knows? But there definitely was a feeling of where is everybody on day one. I did not go on Saturday. Saturdays to me are the days where A, it's going to be the most crowded, and B, dealers are looking for the best deals. So, I mean, obviously they're always looking for the best deals, but I feel like there's so much traffic that they're less motivated to move something for anything less than what they're asking, if that makes sense. Day one, you want to get there because that's where everything's fresh and nothing's been picked over yet. And Sunday, which is today, is the day that people are motivated to move stuff. And that just depends really on the dealers and on the show. But typically, if you go on a Sunday, you're more likely to be able to make a deal with someone that either hasn't sold much or is on a streak, has been doing deals all weekend, and here comes another one, and they're more likely to, they're kind of lubed up, they're kind of used to wheeling a deal at that point. So I went Friday, and like I said, I didn't see many people or many cards I wanted. I did pick this up, PSA 9 1985 Topps Mark McGwire USA. I picked this up because it's a card that I've always loved. My first set when I was 10 years old was in 1985. I got it for Christmas, 1985 Topps set. And this quickly became the premier card to have out of that set. And I carried mine around proudly. Eventually traded it or sold it at some point. And have really been slowly trying to pick up all the cards from my childhood that I could at a decent price. I paid $100 for this. I think recent comps were anywhere from 90 to about 135. I feel like this PSA 9 6 months ago was running around 250 to 300, so I was happy to buy this for $100. Also, anytime you don't have to pay sales tax, as we do here in Texas on an eBay purchase, is a win. So like I said, I did not go yesterday. Did some stuff around the house and debated on whether or not I was even going to go back to the show today, but then I started watching people's videos that they'd posted on YouTube from the show, and it just made me, gave me the bug again to go out there, even though I kind of left depressed on Friday, just feeling like there wasn't much action. Of course, I didn't do much trading or buying that day myself, so I was happy to go back. I took this one of one Zeke National Treasures 10th anniversary rookie with me on Friday. This was my bargaining chip. I like this card, but I feel like Zeke and football in general is probably at its most promising right now. Zeke has been, I've seen all kinds of articles. I've seen posts on Facebook. Look at, Zeke and how shredded he is and how motivated he is, and Dak's back and Dak's healthy and it's feed me time for Zeke. And it feels like that happens every year. And I feel like this might be the last year to capitalize on Zeke hype preseason. So I wanted to use that as trade bait or just outright sell it. But I just didn't find the right opportunity. With that card, you have to sort of know what table to approach it with. I feel like the older guys aren't going to be as interested in a flashy card like that. But I feel like a younger dealer who's sort of more of a flipper mentality sees that shield and that that acetate and that PSA case and sort of eyes light up and so Friday I kept it in my backpack and I never even pulled it out. Like I said, Friday was low key for me. Sunday, I got there today. I got there and sort of scoped the room, looked around, saw a few tables that were intriguing. There was an older guy who had a Jokic Silver Prism PSA 10 and a Jocelyn Dominguez base Bowman Chrome First PSA 10 auto. I thought about approaching him, seeing if we could strike a deal, working something out for that Zeke. Ultimately, I sort of got scared or shied away from him because he just, like I said, he just struck me as that type of guy that's not going to fall for the 101 hype or the shield patch hype or the Zeke hype. So I never pulled it out around him, although I did find those two cards I was really interested in. Debated leaving the show, made several laps around the room. There was an OPC Wayne Gretzky PSA 7 that I saw that I thought maybe busting out the Zeke for, but then I thought anybody that's collecting hockey, especially an iconic OPC Gretzky rookie, probably isn't going to want to hear me out on my Zeke pitch. So I didn't. I shied away on that one as well. Kept moving. Finally came to a table. A guy that's probably a little younger than me. I mean, he had racks and racks of cards. He was in the back, sort of, if you're facing, walking in, back right. He had several display cases. He had a Jocelyn Dominguez Refractor PSA 10 First Bowman Chrome Auto that I was very intrigued by. I think the price tag on that was around maybe $5,500. And when I mentioned comps were more like $3,300, he didn't seem too interested in discussing that card any further, which I can't blame him. All the cards seem to be down. And to be fair, most of the dealers were willing to meet those comps, but some dealers and some cards were just not going to be comped out. And I understand that. I totally get it. I did, however, come across this card that I'll show you here in a second. And so I saw it and I knew that it comped around $5,000. I was comping my Zeke out at around 7. Which is what I had into it, and I just kind of wanted to flip that. Wasn't looking to make anything. I just kind of wanted to rotate something new into my collection. And when I brought out the Zeke and showed it to him, he was interested. He, I think, said, quote, "It's interesting." And so he said, "Let me go ask my buddy who's a Cowboy guy." So he took the card, went and talked to his friend, came back, and seemed willing and ready to hear what I had to say. I said I wanted 7 in trade. He kind of balked and said he was thinking more around 6. And I said, I got to be firm around 7. And so I pointed at this card, which is a Juan Soto Bowman first PSA 10. It's gorgeous, gorgeous card. Comping right now for, I think last sale was about $4,950. And he seemed like he was good to go with that. So I said, the comps are on this are around 5. And he said, was there anything else around $1,000 that you see in the case? And there were a lot of cards there. But to be honest, I didn't want to spend a lot of time looking at cards and looking at comps. This was, for me, enough of a new, this is a big card. So I was just going to be happy, not just to get this, but I was going to be happy to get this and then talk cash. And so what we ended on was this and $1,000. He was happy, I was happy. And yeah, it was like the deal just kind of, one of those deals that you start talking and then literally 5 minutes later you're shaking hands and the deal is done. So yeah, this card right here was a $9,000 card in May. $9,000 in May, and here we are in the middle of July and it's comping out at 5. So I think this has a ton of room. He's picked up his batting average by about 20 points in the last 6 weeks. Still, only, I think he has 13 bombs. So he hasn't returned to that power form that he showed when he was 20 years old, but he's still only 22. So lots and lots and lots of room. I heard a lot of people asking for Sotos and a lot of dealers saying I didn't even bring them because the comps were, 50% off what they were 2 months ago, and people have not lost any faith in Juan Soto. And then the other card that I got is this. I've been after a Gleyber Refractor Bowman Chrome First Auto for some time. I prefer to have a PSA 10, but I'll take this. BGS 95 label with a 10, 2 9.5s, and a 9 edges. So the story on this is that I asked the guy if I could see it, and of course, when he flipped it around, it had 1750. Sorry, I can't talk. It had 1750 sticker on the back, and he said, "Well, I know it's not going for that much." And to his credit, we looked it up and saw it was comping at $400, and he honored it. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Again, talk about players that are still young. Gleyber Torres is only 24 years old. He is clearly not the player that the Yankees thought they had 2 seasons ago. Could he become that player again? I don't know. I doubt it. I think his defensive woes are just... they're going to have to move him off a shortstop. Is he a hitter that can drop 30 bombs, 120 RBIs for 5 or 6 seasons in a row? He might be. He might be. And if he does, this will go back up to 1750 or more. So 2 young players that I wanted to take a chance on. I've been looking for their stuff, and their stuff has dropped, so I did well there. And then the iconic grab of the USA McGuire. So overall, I was very happy. I hated to give up the Zeke, especially right on the cusp of football season. I'm going to be cheering for Zeke. I'm a huge Cowboy fan, so I'm going to be wanting to see him break out this year, even though it'll mean that I might have a little bit of seller or trader regret at trading that 101 10th anniversary National Treasures acetate, because it was a sweet card. But like I said, there's been so much Zeke hype year to year, and he's trending down year to year. So I felt like this was the time to jump ship on him, at least for that card, try to bring something back. And I think I did well with that Soto and $1,000 cash. Anyway, hit the like and subscribe button. This is one of my first videos. I'm not going to make a big fuss about production and put up a bunch of, cool graphics and whatnot. I'm just here to talk the hobby. And really shout out to all you guys, all you creators out there, all you content guys out there, because yeah, you'll be surprised how many people get bored and just want to watch somebody talk about cards. So I apologize for the ranting, but I kind of like the guys that go into the big juicy details of their stories. So anyway, if you like that, then like, subscribe, comment. I'll follow you back, and we'll get this thing going, man. All right, see you guys on the next one. Bye.